So in case of RNA polymerases, RNA polymerase 1 will synthesize further ribosomal RNA, and RNA polymerase 2 will encodes messenger RNA, and RNA polymerase 3 will synthesize tRNA. So in the next table, clearly we have mentioned different type of RNA polymerases with their properties and what are the products will be synthesizing. And you can note down the second difference, that the prokaryotic transcription will be takes place in the cytoplasm, whereas in the case of your eukaryotic transcription, it will be done in the either nucleus or nucleoplasm. So in the RNA polymerase 1, which is also known as Pol1 or Pol A, which is transcribed in the nucleus, this is responsible for the synthesis of ribosomal RNA, which will synthesize 28S RNA, 18S RNA and 5' RNA. And in case of your RNA polymerase 2, which is also transcribed in the nucleus, and this will be done by this will produces messenger RNA, and most smaller nuclear RNA also synthesize. This most smaller nuclear is nothing but it is one of your catalytic RNA. The function of this one we will see in the later slides. Then RNA polymerase 3, Pol 3 or Pol C, this will be present in the or transcribed in the nucleus, particularly in the nucleoplasm, and transfer RNA and other small RNAs including 5S RNA will be synthesized by this RNA polymerase 3. And just for the comparison with your prokaryotes, in the same prokaryotes also required few components. Let me remind you, that is RNA polymerase and promoter sites. Here also we required few elements. For your convenience, please do remember in the sense of A, B, C. So A stands for activators, which include SP1, CTF and ATF, and these are the basic transcription factors which are known as TBP, stands for Tata binding protein. Then one is transcription factor 2A, B, F, E and H, and these are the co-regulators, transcriptor factor 2D, TBP and 14 TAF. So all these are the required as the transcription in the case of eukaryotes it is complex, so all these factors are required, and among these factors few are complexes of your polymerase enzyme, and one approximate estimation is there for the requirement of your transcription in the eukaryotes. You requires approximately 50 different type of proteins. Right. So as usual, the next requirement will be promoter, which will be present on your DNA. So in case of your prokaryotes, we are having the Pribnobox and another -35 encoded nitrogenous base in the upstream. Here also we are having the two promoter sites. One will be at -25 upstream base pair site known as Tata box, and second one is the cat box located at the -70 to 80 upstream base pairs from the promoting site. And at the initiation site, in a positive base pairs, you will be having one more site known as initiator site or known as IR. This is useful for the initiation of your eukaryotic transcription. So the same thing is mentioned here. Eukaryotic promoters are complex, being composed of several different elements. The RNA polymerase 1 promoter consists of Tata-like sequence called as ribosomal initiator element and upstream promoter element. This is in case for the Pol1. And RNA polymerase 2 Like RNA polymerase, it is also include an initiator element which is present in the downstream side, and may also include either a Tata box on our downstream, or a Tata box or downstream promoter element on the downstream side. They include enhancer element that can be very distant from the start side. So what we are saying is, you can see is these are the enhancers and the cat box, and one more side we are specifying that downstream promoter element. So this one is very important. For the transcription, we required RNA polymerase. This RNA polymerase is consisting of various initiating factors. These initiating factors can be denoted as transcription factor 2A, 2B, 2E, 2F, and 2H. Among them, everyone having their own importance. We'll start with the first one is TBP, also known as Tata binding protein. This Tata binding protein having a role in the recognition of promoter site Tata box, and it will binds on that particular Tata box. It helps in the recognition and binding of the Tata box. Okay, and second one, transcription factor 2A. This will stabilizes the transcription factor 2B, and also it will attach with the TBP, so that the stabilization will be fixed. And the transcription factor 2B, it will binds to the Tata binding protein, and it recruits the RNA polymerase 2, and further one more complex known as transcription factor 2F. And this transcription factor 2E will recruits the transcription factor 2H, and it has the ATPase and helicase activities. And transcription factor 2F, it will binds tightly with the RNA polymerase 2 transcription factor 2B, and prevents the binding of RNA polymerase 2 to non-specific DNA sequence. And for MCQs, you do remember, and you are for the exam also, this is the only complex which will in contact with the RNA polymerase 2 throughout your transcription. And once again I'm telling you, the transcription factor 2F is the only factor which will remain in contact with the RNA polymerase. The remaining factors will be complex, but they are gradually removed through the process of elongation. And most important among these factors, that is transcription factor 2H. It has having three particular actions and clinical importance also. First and foremost is, once your RNA polymerase is in contact with this transcription factor 2H, it will having a action of helicase activity, so it will unwinds your DNA and helps in the formation of your transcription bubble. And second one, within the RNA polymerase, this will causes the phosphorylation, so that the conformational changes takes place in the RNA polymerases, and your transcription process will be triggered. And last one is it causes the nucleotide excision repair, so it will also helpful in the proofreading process. Some individuals with the deficiency of this transcription factor 2H may having a metabolic disorder known as xeroderma pigmentosa. Once again I'm saying, few individuals they're having the deficiency of this factor known as transcription factor 2H. They're having a inborn error known as xeroderma pigmentosa, that will be characterized, those person will be characterized with the photosensitivity and neurological disorders. Please do remember, these two factors are very crucial in the MCQs and exam point of view. Transcription factor 2F is the only factor which will remain in contact with your RNA polymerase throughout transcription. And second, transcription factor 2H having three importance. One is it is having the helicase activity, helps in the unwinds of DNA and formation of your transcription bubble. And second one is it causes the phosphorylation of RNA, that is a ribonuclear RNA polymerase. Especially the polymerase will be takes place at the carboxy terminal domain site. CTD stands for carboxy domain terminal domain, and it also causes the nucleotide excision repairs. So this completes your various factors required for the action of your RNA polymerase 2. And in the synthesis of your RNAs, we are having different syntheses. mRNA will be having different, rRNA will be having different, and tRNA will be different. So the mRNA is the common complex pathway or principal pathway. So we are seeing the synthesis of your RNA polymerase 2 action, and these are the steps required for the action of your RNA polymerase. I will explain you one by one. Before that, let me explain the stages and other things about the eukaryotic transcription. So as I told, RNA polymerase 2 is central to eukaryotic gene expression. RNA polymerase 2 requires many other proteins. These are called as transcription factors to form the active transcription complex. The transcription factors are required for the initiation of transcription are known as transcription factor 2A, transcription factor 2B, transcription factor 2E, F, and transcription factor 2H. And just like your prokaryotic, the transcription in the eukaryotic also done in the three stages: initiation, elongation, termination. But in addition to that, we also required other step that is known as pre-initiation complex, or known as assembling of your transcription factors. So in the assembling of transcription factors, I will explain you. So for example, this is your DNA strand. One will be coding strand, another will be the template strand. So this is your promoter site known as Tata box. So the pre-initiation complex will be start with the attached. First one is the recognition of this Tata box. Once the Tata box is recognized by a protein known as Tata binding protein. So this Tata binding protein, it recognizes and it binds with the, or it covers the your promoter site known as Tata box. This is the pre-required step for the formation of your transcription complex. After that, this will be covered with transcription factor 2D, or sometimes it will be attached with the transcription factor 2A. Please note down here, I may not mention the sequential factors attached with your TBP, but let me explain you. The first complex attaching will be the TBP, that will follow with the attachment of your transcription factor 2D or 2A. Most of the times it will be with the 2A. That will be continuation with the 2B. The first one is the 2D or 2A, then following with the 2B, then transcription factor 2F, then transcription factor 2H. So E and H. So gradually, one by one, in a sequential reaction, all the factors which were named previously, all these factors will be attached. Once again I am telling you, the first initial requirement is recognition of your Tata box. This Tata box will be recognized by the Tata binding protein. After that it will be added with the transcription factor 2D, following with the 2A and 2B, 2F, 2E, and finally 2H. We already mentioned each one having the different functions. The 2D will the stabilizes your 2B factor, 2B will be stabilizes or promote the F1, and this E will be causes the further stabilization. It will causes chance to bind with the H molecule. So here in the slide I mentioned few points. The Tata binding protein is often binds with 2FA and 2FB sequentially at promoter site. 2FB TBP complex is next bound by another complex consisting of 2F2 and plus Pol2, that is polymerase 2. The further addition of your transcription factor 2E and 2H results in the formation of close pre-initiation complex. Once the all these transcription factors are attaches, that will causes the formation of your close complex. Just like your prokaryotic also, we can divide these steps into the three reactions. One is causes of close complex, opening complex, and movement of your RNA polymerase. So this will initiates your or completes your close pre-initiation complex. And next one is transcription factor 2H as a DNA helicase activity. I already mentioned you that promotes the unwinding of DNA near the RNA site or your initiation site, thereby creating an open initiation complex. What we are speaking is, let me explain the same thing in the next slide, otherwise I will explain you in here. So it is clearly mentioned here. This is your promoter site, and in the first reaction your Tata binding protein will be get in contact with the promoter site. Then your transcription factor 2D will be attaches here. Then the subsequent reaction 2A and 2B will be joined this complex. Then next one is your RNA polymerase along with transcription factor 2 will get in contact with this your complex, and finally E and H, all these factors will be attaching. So this complex is called as close complex, right? RNA polymerase and remaining complexes are get in contact with your promoter site is known as close complex. Now the RNA polymerase, which is attached with the transcription factor 2H, this having the action of your helicase, it slowly unwinds your DNA strands and opens the transcription bubble, and hence this is known as close or open initiation complex. This site is called as open initiation complex. Next one is your initiation and promoter clearance. So the upcoming successive steps will be the transcription factor 2H having additional function during the initiation phase. It is also having the phosphorylates action I already mentioned. So the kinase activity of this is of factor 2H will causes the phosphorylation of your RNA polymerase 2 at the carboxy terminal domain, that causes the various conformational changes. So other protein kinase also phosphorylates your RNA polymerase. Due to this, it causes the few more conformational changes in the overall complexes, and polymerase then escapes the promoter initiating transcription. This one is known as promoter clearance. So due to the action of your factor 2H, there is phosphorylation reaction will be takes place in the RNA polymerase 2. This causes the sequential changes. Due to that, this RNA polymerase will moves away from the promoter site. This process is known as promoter clearance, and this phosphorylation will be continuous even in the elongation phase also. So the same thing is mentioned here. The phosphorylation of RNA polymerase at the carboxy terminal domain is also important during the subsequent elongation phase. And during the synthesis of initial 60 to 70 nucleotides of RNA, gradually now the factors will start removing from your complexes. So the initial factor which will release is the transcription factor 2E, then 2H. Likewise, one by one all the factors will be removed and your polymerase 2 will enters into the elongase phase. And you please do remember, transcription factor 2F will be get in contact with your RNA polymerase 2, and the next reaction will be elongation termination. So the elongation obviously will be same like your prokaryotic elongation. Here one by one the nucleotide will be copied by base pairing ruling. Here the phosphodiester linkages will be attaches and phosphorylation will be takes place. The transcription process gradually continues. Let me read the slide first. Elongation is accompanied by releasing of many transcription factors. Transcription factor 2F remains associated with the polymerase 2 throughout this elongation. You please make this underline. And during this stage, the activity of polymerase is greatly enhanced by the protein called as elongation factors. The elongation factors, some bound to the phosphorylated CTD, suppress passing during the transcription and also coordinate interaction between protein complexes involved in the post-translational processing of your mRNAs. Once the RNA transcription is completed, the transcription is terminated. Now here, just blindly remember, in the case of your elongation process, the true elongation will be achieved once your all remaining factors will be, or all the factors are removed from your complex. And in the elongation process, please do remember 3P words, which stands for, first P stands for the polymerization reactions, means the nucleotides will be get polymerized here in the new mRNA strand. And next one is the phosphodiester linkage. So as the DNA and RNAs are the backbone by your phosphodiester linkages, and the newly nitrogenous base will be grow in 5' to 3' direction. And last one is the proofreading. Even though your RNAs are not that actively undergoes for the proofreading, because all the reactions are takes place by your RNA polymerase itself, but still that will be undergoes for the proofreading. You already mentioned about the how the proofreading was takes place in case of your eukaryotes. And coming to the termination process, I will explain you in a plain slide so that it will be easy for you. So here, feel that this is your DNA coding strand, template strand, and we have the attachment of RNA polymerase 2, and slowly your RNAs are transcribed and grow in length of your 5' to 3' direction. This is what the reactions are takes place. Now what happens is, for the termination process, once you got the termination codons, these generally codons will be the termination codons will be AA, UAA. Please do remember the termination codons will be AA, UAA. So by these termination codons, this RNA polymerase will initiate a attachment of a terminating factor. This factor is known as CPSF. The full form of this CPSF is cleavage and polyadenylation specific factor. Once again I am telling you in a slow reaction. Once the elongation process is continued, you will get in contact with the termination codons, that is AAUAA. Immediately this RNA polymerase will get in contact with a terminating factor known as CPSF, that is cleavage and polyadenylation specific factor, will get in connect with your RNA polymerase. Not only that, one more terminating factor or termination factor is known as CSFS. So cleavage factor will be stimulating, or cleavage stimulating factor CSF will be recruited here. So by these two factors, the RNA will be removed by the action of your helicases or endonuclease actions. This RNA will be terminated from your DNA, and the DNA will be removed and RNA will be removed. So this completes your termination process. Only two things do remember: the termination codon, that is AA, UAA, and the two terminating factors, that is CPSF, and next one is the CSF. That's it. That will counts for your termination process. So if you make it to the simple steps, if you have the patience, I will once again simply brief you in a simple Hindi language. ट्रांसक्रिप्शन जो होता है वो यूकैरियोट्स में थोड़ा कॉम्प्लेक्स होगा. इसके लिए आपको वेरियस ट्रांसक्रिप्शन फैक्टर चाहिए, और हर एक आरएनए के लिए डिफरेंट पॉलीमरेजेस चाहिए. पॉलीमरेज 1 फॉर द आरआरएनए, पॉलीमरेज 2 फॉर द एमआरएनए, एंड पॉलीमरेज 3 फॉर द टीआरएनए. हमारा बॉडी के अंदर द प्रिंसिपल आरएनए विल बी योर एमआरएनए, विच विल बी अचीव्ड बाय आरएनए पॉलीमरेज 2. तो तुम्हारा आरआरएनए और एमआरएनए और जो भी आरएनए है उसका सिंथेसिस के लिए, जैसे प्रोकैरियोट्स में होता है, यूकैरियोट में भी आप एक जगह होता है दैट इज कॉल्ड एज प्रमोटर साइट, और इस प्रमोटर साइट को पहले TBP, टाटा बाइंडिंग प्रोटीन, रिकॉग्नाइज करेगा, वो आके इसके ऊपर बाइंड होगा. इसके साथ स्टेप वाइज में वेरियस ट्रांसक्रिप्शन फैक्टर्स होता है, उसका रिएक्शन और सीक्वेंस रहेगा 2D फॉलोइंग विद 2A, 2B and 2F, and finally 2E and 2H. So once all these complexes are binds with your RNA polymerase 2, your initiation complex will be done. So इसको हम बोलते हैं क्लोज इनिशिएशन कॉम्प्लेक्स. और इसके बाद धीरे धीरे तुम्हारा पॉलीमरेज फैक्टर 2H की वजह से तुम्हारा DNA जो होता है वो अनवाइंड होगा, उसको हम बोलते हैं ओपनिंग कॉम्प्लेक्स. और इसके बाद it will be start moving from the promoter site known as promoter clearance. Once the promoter clearance is done, in the process of your elongation, तुम्हारा ये जो फैक्टर्स रहता है वो एक एक करके निकल जाएगा. अल्टीमेटली ओनली 2F will get in contact with the RNA polymerase 2 and your elongation process will be done. elongation process में 3P याद रखना होगा. One is phosphorylation, second one is the phosphodiester formation, and next one is the proofreading. And always the RNA transcription will be takes place in the 5' to 3' direction. This process will continue till it get the termination codons. The termination process के लिए हमको एक termination codon होता है that is known as AAUAA. ये जब termination codon आता है तो immediately RNA polymerase और दूसरा termination factor से attachment होगा. These are CPSF and CSF. उसके वजह से RNA जो होता है वो DNA से remove हो जाएगा and it forms the your immature RNA are known as heteronuclear RNA. Now this heteronuclear RNA has to go for पोस्ट ट्रांसक्रिप्शनल मॉडिफिकेशन. जिसका रीज़न क्या होता है मैं आपको बता दूंगा. अभी हमने बताया था कि तुम्हारा जो सेल के अंदर न्यूक्लियस रहेगा, सो अभी जो आरएनए बनता है दैट विल टेक्स प्लेस इन द ओनली न्यूक्लियोप्लाज्म ओनली. अब इसको प्रोटीन सिंथेसिस के इसके लिए न्यूक्लियस से छोड़ के इट हैज़ टू गो टू द साइटोप्लाज्म. सो ड्यूरिंग दिस जर्नी इट हैज़ टू come in contact with the various ribonucleases, hexonucleases, proteases. So iske the chances are there, so that may get acted by those enzymes and the proper messaging will be changes. So in order to escape from those enzymes, it will goes for the various modifications. Those are known as post transcriptional modifications. We will see that same thing, and this post transcriptional modification is very important for your exam point of view. Before that, I will tell you a slide about the inhibitors of transcription. So this will be for both your prokaryotes as well as for the eukaryotes. Among them, the first one is the actinomycin D, or also known as dactinomycin. This is one of the potent anti-cancer drug which will binds with the DNA template strand and blocks the RNA polymerase reaction, so that your RNA synthesis will not be takes place, so that your new cells will not be generated. And next one is rifampicin. It inhibits the transcription by binding with the beta subunit of your prokaryotic RNA polymerase, and it will be useful in the useful as a anti-tuberculosis drug. And finally, alpha amanitin. It is produced by your mushrooms. It is one of the poison which will binds with your RNA polymerase 2 in the eukaryotes and inhibits your transcription. So it does not having any action on the polymerase 1 as well as in the prokaryotic polymerases. It is so these are the three inhibitors which will inhibits your transcription. So just a second.